Hi guys, and this is the final lawnmower from the original 3 Facebook Marketplace free lawnmowers. So we're going to see if we can get this running. The first lawnmower we were able to fix with just a carburetor, and we sold that for $140. The second lawnmower, the pull-on lawnmower, was not worth putting the money into. We put it out on the curb. And now we're going to see if this one is a runner or not. It looks kind of old, so we will decide if we're going to put some money into it or not. And if not, we'll find a new home for it. And if we can get it running, we'll see if we can make a few bucks on this. So the first item we took off was the air filter cover. Air filter looks pretty old. It's rusted. It's got spiders in it. It has the standard for this Briggs & Stratton. It's got the RJ19LM spark plug on it. We'll just kind of do all the same normal basics. We will see if it has spark, and then we'll see what the fuel looks like inside of there. The fuel line looks cracked and old. The pull start is stuck, so we'll take this cover off, 2 screws here, take that off, look at the pull start and see. So this next bracket that holds the fuel tank on has got 3 screws to it. There's one here, and then there's one here. So then that 4th bolt for the fuel tank. So once you pull the bolt, the spacer will drop down and catch that. Every lawnmower, it's always going to be, do we have compression? Do we have fuel? Do we have spark? So it's the same 3 basic principles all the time. Small gas engines are pretty simple that way. Sometimes it helps to use a pair of needle nose. You can kind of get it towards the end there and then slide it back. So when we remove the spark plug, it's just easier to pull to check for spark. So we'll grab our tool next. So now that we've confirmed we have spark, let's take this carburetor off. Just 2 bolts. And you can sneak that throttle linkage out by tipping it out of the way. And now we're going to put our O-ring back on over the intake portion. I just used a little bit of Seal Glide. I had a better O-ring than what I took off, so we'll use this one. It's actually off another lawnmower. If you do enough lawnmowers, I guess you end up with a few extra parts. So we'll do that, and then we'll clean up the bolts and we'll bolt that carburetor back on. When you go to put it on, make sure you slide in your linkage. So that's all done. Getting our linkage in there, that moves a lot better now. This had linkage hooked up here, like so. So I have a piece of scrap fuel line that I think will work just fine on this. I went ahead and fixed the pull start. It broke. So the spring inside broke off. So I just took it apart, cut the section out, rebent the tab inside there. It's nothing too exciting, but hopefully it works. We'll see. And then I did sandblast and paint the cover for no particular reason, just because the tools were near me, so I went ahead and did that. So we'll put that back on. And now we'll rotate that oil, fill it back on, the one we cleaned earlier so we wouldn't get debris in the basement when we do that. Put that bolt back on. Fasten that down, and then we'll put the fuel tank on. Okay, so we put the 3 bolts on the fuel tank in. We had the pull start sitting there so we could put the fuel tank around it. I went ahead and threw a new spark plug in it. So far, that's the only money we've spent on this. I put a new fuel line on. I had some extra fuel line from the last job I did. Like I said, I'm just kind of recycling parts here. And then we'll put the air filter assembly on next. So put our air filter back in. So here's a plot twist. This was the free lawnmower. And then I ended up getting this Platinum Craftsman 7.25 horsepower, actually really good shape lawnmower. Got it for $40. And it was making a rattling noise. Well, the rattling noise ended up being this cover. Plot twist being that I have the same piece here. It's a Briggs & Stratton as well. The pull cord on the old one, on the free one, it was pretty old, and I didn't want to leave it on top of that bracket because I want to use the newer one. I don't think this lawnmower is more than a few years old. It started, and it's self-propelled and all that. Everything works on it really nice. It was just making that horrible rattling noise. So I had already cleaned up this for this other lawnmower, and I sandblasted it and painted it. And I was just going to put on the other lawnmower, see if we can get the other lawnmower running. But now I'm going to take and drill this pull cord assembly out of the one that was broken. Pull start housing was cracked and it was rattling, and this guy sold this for $40 because of the noise it was making. And it was the same basic cover piece that was on the 3rd lawnmower that we're going to use on the 3 for free. So I ended up using it, and now this is up and running, and I just gave away the other lawnmower. Even though we did all the basics and checked everything on it, it was better to use it for parts. I didn't have to buy anything and put this one together. So I guess this is technically the end of the 3 for free. Now this lawnmower is a good running one, and we'll probably wrap up lawnmowers for a little while. Going into winter, hopefully we'll do some snow blowers and see what else we're gonna have to fix.